think I'm starting. Speed take 4. Hi, this is Joel from Stream 415. I mostly use this channel for streaming youth baseball in the Bay Area. In the past year alone, I've streamed about 50 games, almost 100 hours of baseball content. I started streaming like a lot of other parents, using Game Changer with our coach, and I just had a phone on the fence. But then over time, I just started adding more gear, more cameras, and then got into mics, just trying to improve my feed and make it a better quality viewing experience and have better records of my kid playing sports. So I wanted to give a little back now and turn around and share some of my experiences and some of my choices. And today I'm wanting to do a deep dive on some new switcher and encoder technology. What is an encoder? An encoder is at a switcher, and they are making them in combo devices now, or where you bring all of your camera feeds and all of your audio feeds into a single device. That device is connected to the network and will, you choose what video you want at any given time. You choose things like overlays or backgrounds or other capabilities, and then you can also stream it. So you can stream it out to your endpoints. So it's sort of an all-in-one mixer, encoder, streamer device. Okay. Now, since March 2023, I'd been using a YOLOBox Pro, and it was a great step up for me. It opened up a lot of new options. As I said, you could mix different signals. I had up to 3 HDMI signals and then 1 USB. So I had 4 cameras going at the same time, which was sort of amazing. I would do picture-in-a-picture for baseball. That's awesome if you've got a runner at first base and you want to capture them trying to steal while also showing the batter and the pitcher in a face-off. I can stream to our team's Game Changer, our opponent's Game Changer, and even YouTube. So I can stream to 3 different destinations at the same time. That's pretty awesome. I can do graphic overlays, like show the logos of the teams or the logos of the league during All-Stars. That was awesome. And then add timers, add other capabilities. It's been really great, and I've been using it pretty much for all 50 of those games. But today, I have a new device, and it's called, excuse me, a Magewell Director Mini. It's tiny. It is half the size of a YOLOBox. A YOLOBox is about the size of a good tablet. I have one there, but I'll pause with that. And the Mini is half the physical size. And I want to talk about what my goals were with getting the Mini and what I'm hoping it'll help me do. So to do that, I'm going to flip us over to a different input over here. Boop. Cool. So this is my little checklist of things I wanted out of the Mini. Number 1 was remote control, and I haven't seen any real direction towards remote control with YOLOBox, but Mini has been great because there's a web browser to access it. I can control it from my phone. My reasons why are that I can show you why. This is a really cool reverse angle shot from the outfield showing a batter, but that little arrow is where I'm at, so I had to sit behind the fence and sit there and run the production for the show for each game, move to each camera, do that all there, and I'm tied to the fence, and that's no fun if it's 90 degrees and sunny right there and there's no shade, and if you want to sit with your family or you want to go sit up in the announcer booth and work up there, you just can't do it from that kind of spot. My equipment, this is the YOLOBox, this is what I'm looking at while I'm sitting there. This is where I would be physically tapping, tap, 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 to choose between different inputs. And I've got an audio mixer over there, so I can turn levels up and down, or like give a mic to a kid in between innings and have them go run stuff. And I would have all of these wires all coming together and bringing into the YOLOBox, and having to do all of your control and all the wires in the same place, I just feel like was a bad feeling for me, and I really wanted some remote. And Magewell's Director Mini really seems to be helping me get that. I'm able to control it from a web browser. I'm doing that right now, as well as the screen. So other things I wanted more modern inputs. Some of my cameras could do NDI. I want easy phone inputs, so I can go back to phone on the fence, but a phone can have many different optical zooms. I have an old iPhone 12, 3 years old, that I am maybe going to convert into a camera fence for me and use wireless signal on that. I also have an older Mevo cam, and it does NDI. NDI is like HDMI, but works over the network. So in theory, I don't have to run these wires all over the place. That's always been a bit of a hassle, doing all the wiring, making sure kids aren't messing with them. Baseball really wants reliable 60 frames per second. Baseball is a game of like really quick instance. Did we get a tag on? Show me the crack of the bat. And it's really fun to do slow-mo on video after the fact and look and be like, oh yeah, that he was safe, or oh yeah, he was just out. So that's been something that the YOLO box is not that great at. There's only one input that does 60 frames per second, and if you're flipping between inputs, you can kind of see it bounce back and forth. And so I'm really hoping for reliable 60 frames per second. Haven't had a chance to test that yet on Magewell, but it is in the specs. This one's a little specific, but I do have cameras that are able to output at 4K, and I hope, at least the specs seem to imply, that the Magewell supports 4K image input. I don't want to necessarily stream at 4K, but I want to crop, and I want a clean crop. And this is what I mean. A 4K image is technically a 2x2 grid of 1080p images. And if you imagine sort of a wider shot of a field, I would love to be able to have two clean subcrops of maybe right field and left field that I could get from that same single parent image that's a higher resolution. I'm not sure if that's a possible thing, but that's something I would love to try to get out of the Magewell. And the last thing is swappable batteries. The Magewell supports these NPV batteries. I think they're called L-type or something. But I have several of them because I use them on wireless HDMI transmitters. And there's two of them. This was a really smart design by Magewell where I can put one battery on and it can put the two batteries on. One of them can completely die. I can take it off. It'll flip over to the other battery, and I can go replace it or go get one off a charger and put it back on, and the whole thing just keeps working. This is one of the bigger units. I think this is like a 900, 970, something like that. And this ran for easily 4 hours, and this is a single battery. And I have a bunch of these. So I'm hoping that batteries are just not going to be a problem at all. And having them swappable, I think, is important. Any technology I've had, like after 3 to 5 years, like the battery's just not holding up like it was when it was new. And being able to pull the batteries out and have them be completely separate, I think was a great design choice. So that's all I got for like my wants, or what I'm hoping to get out of the Mini. I have it. I've been using it for 24 hours. There's been a few hiccups that I'm kind of working through and trying to understand. The interface is, of course, different. I can show, if you want, some of the killer remote features that I love. And some of them are just so simple, but so this is the web browser for the interface, and I am plugged in a power connector right now, but if I unplug it, it'll say that I have one battery right here plugged in right now, and it's at 100%. That's awesome. I can see my CPU. I know that it's not running too hot. I can see actually the temperature that the unit is running and how fast the fan is going. So like, just a quick sense of like, is the thing actually working? Is it stable? Is it, am I trying to do too many things at once? I can see all of that. I can swap between scenes. So this is the scene I'm at now, but if I wanted to bump to, that scene there, I'm clicked, and I'm just clicking the mouse on my laptop that's sitting right here, and I'm able to change between inputs. I know it's probably picked up on the mic, but it's really great to be able to control it in that sense. Going back to the UI, I don't have any graphics currently configured, but if I did configure a graphic, I'll do it on the device itself. I'll configure just a simple social media bug. Just put it there in the middle. And so now I can turn this bug on and off, bloop, 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 via the UI in the web UI. So that's pretty great for being able to turn on and off logos. Again, I can do that all remotely. I can do scoreboard control here as well. This is where I can configure my streams. So with the YOLO box, I always had to type in a little. That's not true. There's a way to do it on their website, but often would have to do that. But you can see my active stream is right here. You can see the bit rate that it's sending at and where it's going. I can record locally. I can look at my meters. There's volume, stereo volume meters, which is great. I know that's something we've been asking for a while. I've got sliders here, so that's the program slider, and then these are individual mic sliders. Background music, so you can upload MP3s here and apply background music. Media is if I have videos, or wood is a background image that I want to include for other purposes. Those are all managed in this interface. And then things like the firmware and users and logs are all done here. So like the user interface has been amazing. I'm a super big fan of that. Coming from YOLObox, so we got this bug up, so turn that down at username. That's it. This is maybe the 4th time I've tried to make this video. I've had nothing but some hiccups and learnings as I go, and I hope this is a good one. So I'm gonna click save and go check it out. Thanks so much for watching.